Hello everyone, and welcome back to Living with Mangoes. As you can see, my hands are soupity doopity dirty. I am doing grafting today. I am deciding what trees I want to graft. So this video is going to be basically, I'm going to just show you one demonstration of how to graft using a cleft graft. Simple cleft graft, okay? So I'm going to show you how to line up the Cambrian layer, how to splice it and dice it, and I'm going to show you my method of actually doing things. It's been working for me. I've had a very good high percentage of takes. So with that, here we go. So these are some of the trees that I recently grafted into 1 to 1.5 gallon little pots. Let me show you here some of the grafting that I do. As you can see, I have it out in the pool area, and it gets sun during the day because the sun comes out from this side. So it gets sun during the day until about 10:30. And then after 10:30, the sun will go right over the house and they won't get any more sun until the following day. And that's all I need because I don't want them to get too much sun and then they start drying up on me. So what I did here is I did the cleft graft right here, right there. And I leave some leaves on there. And I do some cutting of the leaves just so it won't take up too much energy, but I'll leave just enough so it could get some sun and it could get some energy. Here we go. So what we have here, I grafted 2 Super Julies. So I got 2 Super Julie grafts right here. Okay. I have an Excalibur mango here. Excalibur mango was created by Excalibur Nurseries and is one of their favorite, best mangoes. It's an old-fashioned mango. Orangey taste is very, very good. Here's your good old Neelam. Neelam, a very high-producing mango. It tastes like coconut. And it creates a lot of clusters. They call it the branch breaker because there's a lot of clusters that could break out of there if you don't, reduce the amount that it holds on the tree. And last but not least, this is the Sun Puri. So I did a Sun Puri. I have all these varieties in the yard. So just want to have backups because you never know when you have one of those strong winters and you lose some trees. But with that, we're going to take a walk to the tree that I'm going to graft. And then I'm going to show you the actual cleft graft. So here we are, guys. We're in front of my coconut cream mango tree. And we're looking for a 1/2 inch, more or less 1/2 inch scion. So I've decided to go ahead and take this scion from here. This coconut cream mango tree has a mango on the opposite side. So I'm going to take this scion on this side. And I'm going to cut this right there. That way, from here, it could flush about 3 or 4 new branches from that piece right there. So I took this scion right here. This scion looks nice and healthy. And this is the scion that we're going to graft to a seedling. So here we are for the final step for the cleft graft. So my coconut cream scion, I am going to cut some of the leaves. If you could get up closer, I'm going to cut the leaves in half so they won't take up so much of the energy that's going to be traveling up the stem. So I'll cut it in half right here. A lot of people, what they do is they cut everything off and they'll just use the scion. But I only do half. And then I take my handy dandy tape. And this is budding tape. So this is the budding tape. And I make sure that it's tight across. If you could see it up close. I stretch it and turn, stretch it and turn, stretch it and turn. Now this is budding tape. You could do that with the budding tape. With the regular tape that looks like this, I use this tape to actually tie it because I can make it nice and strong with that type of tape. But here we go. Just turning it until I get to that far. Then I stop. But I keep turning going upwards because you want to make sure that it preserves the moisture of the scion. You don't want the scion to dry up. So once you have that done, Then what I want to do is I want to measure on the actual tree. Where do I want the scion? So here goes a pretty good spot right there. And it measures almost the same because you want to align it, okay? So I'm gonna cut right about here. Boom, there he goes. There goes the seedling. I've been growing this seedling for about 1.5 years. So 1.5 years seedling. Now what I wanna do is I want to take my knife and use this type of knife. This is a grafting knife. It comes with two. It comes with the arch one that you could use on the actual scion. And then it has this one that you can use to make the cleft. Now this is what a cleft looks like. You come close, you cut straight down. You have to be very, very careful with your fingers. So I apply pressure on the sides here so that the knife doesn't just go straight down. Not only would it mess up the cleft, but it could also cut my hand. So I hold it here and I go straight down slowly as I'm doing this, wedging it. I'm wedging it. Once I get about this far down, I could stop right there. Okay. And now what I do is I go and I take out the curved knife and I want to cut the scion on both sides, making it into the shape of a V. It's gonna look like a tight V. So here I go. Do this side first. Cut, 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 cut. Now you can see a little bit of the cambium layer on the outside, and inside you see that. You get a close-up look on that. Okay. Let me cut a little more up here. Now I'll go to the opposite side. Hold my finger there. Now you make sure that when you cut outward. Never cut inward because you could cut yourself. Now there are some also that do this backwards. They'll do the V on here and then they'll do the cleft on there and they'll just stick it right on top. So there's people that do that. Okay. Good. There goes my V shape. Now, what I want to do is now I want to wedge it in here. So I take my scion and I wedge it and I put my finger here to make sure that I am aligning it here as I push down. Okay, I want to go as far down as I possibly can. Look at that. Perfect. Perfect alignment. And usually what you need is one side. I try to make sure that I get one that actually aligns perfectly on both sides. But if it's smaller than your actual tree, you could always line it up to one side, and sometimes it will take, and you will have a successful graft. So I want to bring it down as far as I can, and here I go. Now what I do is I take the Teflon type of tape. I stretch it out a little bit. Then I roll it. Just so it can be strong. Because this is what I'm going to use to tie it up. What a lot of people do is they put the budding tape first. They hold it closed. They put the budding tape. But what I find is that it doesn't apply enough pressure. So what I do is I do it backwards. I put this first, then I put the budding tape over it. So here I go. I leave about that much so I could be able to tie. Hold it, go around, and then go under it, and go around, and then go under it. Twice. I stop right there, pull my thumb here to hold it, and I'll pull this one. The reason I pulled this one is in case it's stuck there for one reason or another, it just came out. It unlocked. So now I could go around and around and around and applying pressure as I go. I'll stop right here because I want to do a double. And I'll turn this one around and around. And one more time around. There we go. There we go. Now, I turn it because this is when I do the tie. So here, I'm gonna tie it. Simple knot. I always do a double knot just to make sure that it's nice and tight. Double knot. Now I cut it. Now to be on the safe side, I have a lot of pressure up here, but now what I want to do is I want to apply more pressure down here. So I take another strand, stretch it, turn it, like so. I do it from the bottom. Turn, over and under, and then I keep going. Now I'm applying a lot of pressure on there. Pull the bottom. Now I tie it on this side. Tie it. Here we go. Now look closely at that. It's nice and tight on the bottom, nice and tight on top. I always leave a little space up here so it could bleed. But if you like to go all the way to the top, you can go all the way to the top. This is an example of a good graft right there. And now I finish it up to keep the moisture in. Use some more budding tape. Go around. Not only keeps the moisture, but also protects it from water seeping in and destroying the graft. And one last time. And budding tape goes a long way because this, like I said, you take little strands like this and you stretch it out. When you're actually putting it on there, you stretch it. And as you're stretching, it's like 3 times the amount of that little piece. Good old budding tape. This I got from China. I ordered it through eBay. If you order it through eBay and you get it directly from China, you could get it much, much cheaper than a lot of these commercial stores. So that's what you want to do. You want to order it through eBay. It looks like this. It's called New Model. It's a new model. Did you get that? That's the New Model budding tape. And this is an example of a good graft. Now I just label it, coconut cream, and I bet you a friend of mine is gonna start saying, can I have it please, can I have it please? And I'm gonna be like, nope, peace, living with mangoes.